Hello, I am glad you could join me on this cosmic journey. Today we are venturing into one of the most mysterious and awe-inspiring experiences the universe can offer. We are going to experience what it's like to be pulled into a black hole and explore the theories that suggest what could be hidden inside. Before you settle in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel, but only if you truly enjoy exploring these kinds of deep and mind-bending adventures. Let me know in the comments where in the world you are watching from and what time it is for you right now. Your presence here adds to the shared wonder of this journey, and together we will drift far beyond the boundaries of what we think we know. Hey everyone, today we're looking into stars, and I mean really looking into them, letting them swell in our vision until they are no longer distant points, but glowing oceans stretching in every direction. The light seems thicker out here, almost like you could scoop it up with your hands if you reached far enough. Breathe in the stillness before everything changes, because where we are headed, stillness will become something else entirely. You can feel the quiet now, like a deep breath held by the universe, waiting for us to take the next step. The black hole sits ahead, vast enough to feel more like a missing piece of the sky than an object. Around its edges, the stars bend and twist, their light curling like ribbons pulled into a whirlpool. Hold onto the rail as the stars stretch into ribbons. It's not the kind of motion you feel in your stomach, not yet, but the kind you sense in your bones, a shifting of the background rules. There's a pull here that doesn't ask your permission. You might notice the horizon changing first, the way it curves in an unfamiliar arc, as though space itself is folding around us. The blackness at the center doesn't shimmer like the rest of the cosmos. It swallows without ceremony, leaving only the outline of its feast. You might think of it as silence given shape, a kind of still gravity that doesn't move but convinces everything else to. Let's drift closer, slowly enough to watch the light warp into impossible colors. The air, though we know it's recycled in this craft, seems cooler, as though even the atoms around us know where we're going. There's a faint vibration underfoot, steady and low, almost like the purr of some enormous creature we haven't met yet. You can feel it if you press your fingertips to the rail, the way you might feel the heartbeat of the earth through a quiet stone. Behind us, Earth is just visible as a small pale glow, wrapped in blue and white. It looks so fragile from here. I know we've both seen it from space before, at least in pictures, but seeing it with your own eyes is different. You can almost imagine reaching back and cupping it in your hands, holding it safe. There's a tenderness in knowing we're leaving it behind, even if only in this story. You might want to keep glancing back, just to make sure it's still there. Picture the horizon folding now, as we pass into the zone where distances stop making sense. Stars ahead seem stretched like taffy, yet the ones behind us grow tighter together, as if they're trying to follow. The sound here is strange. It's not a sound in air, but a pressure in the chest, a hum that feels both near and impossibly far. We're still far from the event horizon, but already, time feels thicker. The seconds don't fall quite as quickly. They seem to hang, as if deciding whether to move forward or pause for a moment longer. The thought occurs that we could turn back. The ship would obey if we told it to, but there's something in the pull that makes turning back feel like trying to climb up through a dream. It's not that it's impossible, just that the dream doesn't want to let you go yet. The deeper we drift, the more the stars seem to lean toward us, their light caught in the invisible stream pouring into the black hole. You can almost picture them as fish caught in a current, shimmering as they resist but unable to escape. Notice how the light bends, curving around us in arcs that should be impossible. What you're seeing is not an illusion. It's the very fabric of space stretched, like cloth tugged into a funnel. If you look back again at Earth, you'll see it's smaller now, a glowing pearl hanging in the dark. It spins quietly, carrying on as though it doesn't know we're leaving. But if you watch carefully, you'll notice something unsettling. At this distance, even small changes become exaggerated. A flash of fire at the edges of continents, a bloom of orange where forests burn, storms swirling faster than the eye can follow. It's as if Earth knows what we're doing and is unraveling before we're too far gone to notice. Breathe in the stillness, because the sight of a planet unraveling is both terrifying and strangely beautiful. Fire is nature's painter, and here it smears its brush across oceans and skies. We can see cities flare like sparks on a log, glowing for a moment before fading into shadow. Hold onto the rail, because this is the last time Earth will look familiar to us. The black hole waits, patient as stone, and already its grip is stretching us thinner across each second. Do you feel how time itself seems heavier here? Clocks would still tick if we brought them, but they would betray us. For those back home, the seconds are racing as usual, but for us, the seconds drag like syrup. That is one of the first truths of this place. The deeper we go, the slower we move through time compared to anyone watching. If someone were looking through a telescope right now, they'd see us hovering at the edge, stretched into slow motion. But for us, everything feels steady, as if the black hole is whispering, "Don't worry, I'll keep your moment safe." Let's drift closer. The event horizon is not a wall, though it looks like one. It's not a solid boundary, but a point where escape is no longer possible. Light itself, moving faster than anything else, cannot claw its way back once it crosses. Imagine swimming in a river with a current stronger than your arms. Once you pass a certain point, no matter how you struggle, the flow carries you on. That's what the horizon is. Not a thing you crash into, but a place you slide past, often without even noticing. The stars around the edge smear into arcs. Look at how they bend, their light taking the long route around, caught in the orbit of something that does not shine. That's one way astronomers discover black holes, not by seeing them, but by noticing how they tug on the stars around them, like an invisible hand rearranging constellations. It's almost funny, isn't it, that something so powerful hides itself by swallowing the very thing that would reveal it. Reach your hand toward the window, just for a moment. You'll see your reflection blur and twist, stretched sideways by the gravity outside. The glass ripples with it, though we know it's not the glass changing, but the path of the light between us and it. You're seeing yourself as the universe sees you when the rules no longer stay straight. Behind us, Earth is trembling. The pale sphere has cracked into veins of light, each one a scar across its surface. You can see the oceans boiling into steam, the continents flaring in streaks of red and white. It's not destruction in a single instant, but a gradual tearing, as though the black hole's pull reached back and tugged even on that distant world. The sound you imagine, though there is no air between us and it, would be thunder layered on thunder, waves of collapse roaring against one another, until silence is all that remains. Hold your breath now. The horizon is close. You can see it not as a line but as a distortion, a sphere of absence, as though someone carved a hole in reality itself. The stars smear around its edge, circling in endless loops. They say that from outside, we would never truly fall through. Anyone watching us would see us slower, and then freeze, hanging just above the horizon forever, never quite vanishing. But from where we are, it's different. We don't feel the pause. We cross as easily as stepping through a doorway, and the universe above us snaps shut like a book being closed. Inside, it is not black. That's the strangest truth. It's a swirl of distorted light, all the stars of the universe smeared together, forming tunnels of color that stretch and bend. It's like standing inside a funhouse mirror that has swallowed the entire sky. Hold on to the rail, because even though there's no up or down, you feel your stomach tilt, as if falling through a bottomless well. Notice the silence here. It's not empty silence. It's a deep hum that lives in your chest, a kind of vibration that seems to come from inside you. Some physicists believe there's a singularity at the center, a point where density is infinite and the laws of physics break. But for us, right here, it feels less like a single point and more like a horizon of another kind, an endless direction where all paths meet. You might feel the pull tighten now. It's not tearing us apart, not yet, but stretching our sense of space. Look at your hand again against the window. It seems longer, as though your fingers are melting into the glass. This is spaghettification, though we won't call it that right now. Think of it instead as being slowly pulled into strands, like sugar drawn into caramel. It's delicate at first, almost imperceptible, but the deeper we go, the more every atom is persuaded to line up with the flow. Let's drift further, into the heart of this place. Ahead of us is a horizon of fireless light, an ocean where past and future collapse into a single present. What you're seeing is the edge of time itself. It's not the end, not exactly, but a place where endings gather. Some theories say we could pass through to another universe, a rebirth beyond this collapse. Others say it's only silence, the final curtain drawn across all things. Either way, we are here together, watching as the last traces of Earth flicker out in the distance, the stars above curling into a whirlpool, and the horizon folding around us. Breathe with me. Let the stillness fill your lungs. Whatever waits, we face it as one, riding the last river of gravity into the heart of forever. The light around us bends and twists like liquid glass, streaming in ribbons that stretch infinitely. It is not darkness that fills this place, but a strange, humming tapestry of every star we have ever seen, all of them smeared into streaks of brilliance. Hold onto the rail as the colors flow past us, folding into themselves, sometimes looping back in impossible arcs. You can feel them tug at the edges of your vision, teasing your perception, reminding you that the universe obeys different rules here. Gravity is everywhere at once. It presses lightly against our shoulders and chest, a constant weight that is both comforting and unsettling. Time is slower here, so every heartbeat stretches, every breath lingers, and yet the universe outside races ahead. Earth is gone from sight now, reduced to a memory of fire and blue oceans. That memory feels fragile, like it could slip entirely from our minds if we stopped thinking about it. Look ahead, and you can see the inner whirlpool forming. The center is not a point, but a swirling corridor of light and shadow. Stars and cosmic dust caught in the pull spiral endlessly, bending like threads woven into a great cosmic loom. Astronomers call this the accretion disk in places outside, though we do not need names. Just notice how it spins, how it draws everything in, a dance of attraction that is beautiful, even in its inevitable destruction. You can feel yourself stretching without pain. Fingers elongate slightly. Your hair lifts as if caught in slow-motion wind, but there is no wind here. This is the subtle hand of tidal forces at work, gentle yet persuasive. The deeper we drift, the more every particle of our being aligns with the flow. It is not frightening, not yet. It is simply being carried along, a passenger on the river of infinity. Listen closely. There is a sound, a hum that seems to rise from the very core of the black hole. It is low, almost inaudible, vibrating through our bones, reminding us that even in places without air, the universe has its own voice. Breathe in the stillness before everything changes. For moments like this are rare. They are heavier than any silence we have known, filled with the weight of collapsed stars and folded time. Notice the way light behaves. Each star we passed stretches into lines, loops, and arcs that defy logic. It is a vision that would be impossible outside this realm. Colors blend and invert. Blue stars shimmer like molten silver, reds curl inward as if swallowed by their own heat, and white lights pulse like tiny hearts. The black hole does not swallow beauty, it reinterprets it. As we drift closer to the center, there is a sense of convergence. All directions lead inward, yet there is no sense of falling down. Up, down, left, right are all meaningless here. Instead, we float in a sea where every path is toward the heart of something beyond comprehension. Some physicists theorize that singularities are points of infinite density, but what we feel is not density, but a soft pull, a persuasion to merge with this eternal center. We can watch the cosmic theater unfold around us. Matter from distant galaxies streams in, caught in the invisible whirlpool. Stars collide, flare, and vanish in streaks of color, and the remnants swirl into the central darkness. It is both violent and mesmerizing. You might feel a strange excitement watching this destruction, like standing on the edge of a waterfall and knowing that you cannot fall. Feel the stretch in your body again. It is gentle, like being pulled through a warm, viscous liquid. This is the universe reminding us that our form is flexible here, and yet we remain whole. Space itself bends around us, curving in ways that are impossible to imagine when seen from afar. Look at the ribbons of light and notice how they fold over themselves. This is gravity, painting a portrait of inevitability. Reach out with your senses. Imagine brushing your hand through the streams of star matter. They shimmer and pulse, resisting yet yielding. Time feels slow enough to linger here, to explore every flicker, every motion. Some of the light seems ancient, older than Earth itself, carrying stories from galaxies that have long since vanished. It is a reminder that the black hole is both a grave and a gallery, a place where memory collects and bends. Notice how the center seems to glow faintly. It is not fire, nor heat as we know it. It is energy and motion, the eternal swirl of what was and what is. Imagine being cradled in the pulse of creation and destruction at once. There is no fear here, only awe, a sensation that runs through your chest and pools in your stomach. This is the universe at its most honest, unmasked by the distractions of light, air, or sound. Breathe and float. Feel the rhythm of the black hole. It does not hurry. It does not judge. It simply exists, and we are privileged to move with it. Look back briefly and you will see traces of the universe outside, curled and bent, faint echoes of constellations we knew. They shimmer, like reflections on water, distorted yet beautiful. Hold on to the vision, for it will soon fade as the pull grows stronger. The center of the black hole hums beneath us, a vibration that seems to echo through every particle of our being. Imagine a sound that has no pitch, yet fills every corner of your senses, a resonance born from the collapse of countless stars and the folding of entire galaxies. The force pulling us inward is immense, yet there is no panic here, only an understanding that we are moving along with the currents of gravity itself. You can feel the intensity of the tidal forces stretching space like taffy, pulling at everything around us. Even light is trapped in this slow dance, curling in loops and spirals that are impossible to follow with our eyes alone. Look closely at the patterns forming. The accretion disk we passed outside is now behind and above us, a distant spiral of blazing energy feeding the black hole. Matter moves in this disk at incredible speeds, sometimes close to the speed of light, heating as it collides and rubbing together until it glows brighter than entire star systems. That energy radiates outward, and yet here in the interior, we are in a quieter current, insulated from the chaos outside. It is a calm corridor that the universe has carved just for us, a path into the unknown. Notice how space itself bends. Directions fold over themselves. Left becomes right, and up becomes down. This is not just imagination. It is a consequence of the black hole's gravity, warping the very fabric of reality. If we could see time as a thread, it would appear to loop and spiral, stretching infinitely as we move closer to the core. Some physicists call this time dilation. Here we feel it with our bodies, as though each heartbeat takes longer, each second expands to fill more than we expect. Imagine being aware of time slowing and yet knowing the outside universe continues at its usual frantic pace. Galaxies spinning and dying while we float in deliberate slowness. Reach out and brush against the streams of matter. They shimmer with colors that seem to exist outside ordinary vision. Each hue a record of a different type of star and its life cycle. Blue indicates extreme heat, young stars burning fast, while reds and oranges mark dying stars, collapsing into remnants that will eventually feed the black hole itself. White lights pulse in rhythmic waves, the final breaths of stars that have been shredded by gravity over millions of years. Every streak we see carries the memory of cosmic events we cannot count. You can almost feel the energy radiating from them, a quiet reminder that matter is never truly gone, only transformed. Breathe and sense the stretch of your body. Tidal forces pull gently at our limbs, elongating them just enough to remind us that we are not in ordinary space. Our hair floats upward, as if caught in invisible currents. Our clothes lift slightly in the absence of conventional gravity. The black hole reshapes us subtly, reminding us that everything here is relative. Hold onto the rail as the stars bend and twist, forming arcs that loop back over themselves like ribbons in a grand cosmic ballet. Notice how even the faintest light behaves differently here, curving inwards, caught forever in an orbit that never escapes. Listen carefully and you may hear the faint whispers of cosmic radiation, a background hum left over from the universe's earliest moments. It is a quiet reminder that even in this place of extreme gravity and warped space, the universe keeps its memory. You might imagine the light from distant quasars traveling billions of years to reach us, only to be caught in this interior spiral. The hum is subtle but omnipresent, like the universe breathing around us, and it resonates in our chest, filling the stillness with presence. We drift closer to the singularity. It is not a point we can see, only a pull that grows stronger with each passing second. All matter, all light, all energy is being drawn toward this heart. Imagine a river that narrows endlessly, and every ripple in the water is a galaxy, every current a star system. You feel yourself becoming part of that flow, a passenger riding the tides of gravity with nothing to resist it. Even our thoughts seem to stretch, slowing and stretching as if the mind itself is sensitive to the pull. Notice how light from the outside twists. You can see remnants of entire star clusters bending over themselves, tiny galaxies looping like spinning tops in the distance. Colors invert and shimmer in ways that defy earthly perception. The black hole does not destroy these patterns, it folds them, creating a kaleidoscope of the universe's past. Some of these lights are ancient, emitted before our solar system even existed, and now they are caught in this eternal spin, reminding us that the universe is older and stranger than we can imagine. Breathe in the stillness. There is no fear here, only awareness of being in a place where the usual rules of space and time are suspended. Every heartbeat stretches, and you can feel the slow pull of gravity in your chest, in your shoulders, in the very core of your being. Imagine that your entire body is both here and stretched along invisible threads that extend deep into the heart of the singularity. This is the sensation of existence at the edge of the unimaginable, the ultimate boundary between everything and nothing. Feel the currents of energy swirling around us. They are not chaotic but patterned, each twist a record of cosmic events that have led to this moment. Stars fall into spirals, supernova remnants collide and glow, dust and gas weave into streams of faint light. Even in the heart of destruction, there is creation. Matter is not destroyed, only transformed, and the black hole becomes the quiet gallery of all that has lived and all that has been. Look closely at each streak and imagine the history it carries, the worlds it has witnessed, and the time it has survived. The pull grows stronger, and every moment stretches longer than the last. You can feel it in your chest, a gentle tug that pulls you forward, not violently, but inevitably, like being carried by a current that you cannot see. Light bends around us more dramatically now, curving in loops and spirals so tight that the stars behind us appear in front, and the universe folds in on itself. Every glance shows a new pattern, a swirl of brilliant colors trapped in paths that have no end. Hold on to this moment because we are about to reach the center, the singularity, the place where the rules of space and time dissolve entirely. The core is not empty, at least not in the way you might imagine. It is a concentration of everything, compressed beyond imagination, a crucible where all matter, all energy, and all light converge. Some scientists imagine it as a point, infinitely small, infinitely dense. I imagine it as a brilliant calm, a presence that is both nothing and everything, a place where the histories of countless stars, planets, and galaxies rest together in silent unity. Here, existence becomes a pure experience of gravity, and time has no meaning. Each second outside may pass 1 billion times faster, but here, we are suspended in a timeless current. Look closely and you may sense patterns in the chaos, shapes that hint at the universe's memory. Streams of matter trace arcs that resemble galaxies, entire star clusters compressed into ribbons of light that spin endlessly around the heart. The black hole does not destroy them, it holds them, folds them, preserves their essence in this extraordinary space. Imagine every star that ever lived, every explosion that ever illuminated a corner of the universe, now converging here, glowing faintly in the concentrated gravity of the singularity. It is a gallery of cosmic history, a record of creation and destruction intertwined. Breathe and feel the stretch of your body. The tidal forces are immense but not painful. They pull gently, elongating your senses and making you aware of the vast scale of the gravitational pull. Your eyes trace the twisting patterns of light, your ears imagine the vibrations of collapsing matter, and your skin feels the subtle hum of energy flowing around us. You might feel your thoughts stretch, slowing and expanding as the singularity bends time itself. Every heartbeat echoes outward, though there is no up or down, no before or after, only the endless pull toward the center. Notice the light that escapes the interior. Some of it bends so sharply that it orbits multiple times before being trapped again, creating loops that shimmer and pulse. These loops are like echoes of the universe, signals from stars that died long ago, trapped here to circulate indefinitely. You might imagine being able to read the history of the cosmos just by following a single loop, tracing the life and death of worlds, the births of suns, and the collisions of galaxies. Everything that has ever existed is represented here, and yet it is condensed into a single focal point of unimaginable density. As we drift closer, imagine the singularity not as a void but as a kind of ultimate library. It holds the memory of every particle, every photon, every event that has contributed to the universe. Some call it infinite, some say it is unknowable. I feel it as a quiet presence, like the universe itself taking a breath and holding it, a place where the chaos of stars becomes harmony. Here there is no destruction in the way we understand. There is transformation. Matter becomes potential, energy becomes pattern, and space itself folds into a perfect concentration of experience. Hold on to the feeling as the tidal forces peak. Space stretches around us like a ribbon being pulled taut, yet it is also soft and fluid. You are aware of your body and yet feel part of the currents of gravity, a passenger in the most extreme river imaginable. Every color is more vivid, more strange, because the light is bent and twisted into new forms. Blues shimmer with intensity, reds glow faintly in compressed waves, and faint greens and purples weave through the patterns of matter and energy. Everything has a texture, even if your hands cannot touch it, because the black hole gives shape to the unseeable. Imagine what could exist at the very center. Some imagine a point of infinite density. Others imagine a quantum foam, a place where the laws of physics as we know them no longer apply. Perhaps it is a seed, a kernel of possibility, holding the blueprint for new universes, the potential for creation beyond imagination. Here there is no space in the usual sense, no time, no beginning or end, yet it is full of presence, full of memory, full of possibility. We are witnessing the universe in its most concentrated, most intimate form, a place where everything that exists is held in a single moment of extraordinary intensity. Feel the subtle hum of energy radiating outward. Even here, at the ultimate core, the universe communicates. Every vibration is a signal, every pulse a story, and we are close enough to sense it directly. Imagine the heartbeats of stars, the collapse of distant supernovae, the swirl of galaxies spinning far away, all converging into this extraordinary space. It is overwhelming and serene, terrifying and beautiful. You can feel yourself part of it, a witness to the ultimate force of nature, yet safe in the quiet awareness of this journey. Notice the patterns of falling matter. Streams of cosmic dust and gas spiral inward, yet none are destroyed. They are folded, compressed, transformed. Each one carries a history. And here, in this core, those histories are preserved. Some fragments of light have traveled for billions of years before arriving here, and now they move in graceful arcs that defy ordinary perception. You can follow them with your eyes, tracing the lineage of stars, imagining the worlds that once orbited them, and the civilizations that may have existed long before we were born. The black hole holds all of this in its interior, a cosmic memory palace beyond comprehension. Breathe in the stillness, because this is where everything converges. Time is gone, space is bent, light curves in impossible ways, and yet there is clarity, an understanding that we are witnessing the universe at its most fundamental level. The singularity is not a point of fear, it is a point of total presence, where everything that ever was and ever will be is concentrated into a single, incomprehensible harmony. You feel it in your chest, in your mind, in your awareness of existence itself. This is the core of the black hole, and we are here together, experiencing the unimaginable, holding the memory of the cosmos in a single, stretched heartbeat. The pull grows stronger, and every moment stretches longer than the last. You can feel it in your chest, a gentle tug that pulls you forward, not violently, but inevitably, like being carried by a current that you cannot see. Light bends around us more dramatically now, curving in loops and spirals so tight that the stars behind us appear in front, and the universe folds in on itself. Every glance shows a new pattern, a swirl of brilliant colors trapped in paths that have no end. Hold on to this moment because we are about to reach the center, the singularity, the place where the rules of space and time dissolve entirely. The core is not empty, at least not in the way you might imagine. It is a concentration of everything, compressed beyond imagination, a crucible where all matter, all energy, and all light converge. Some scientists imagine it as a point, infinitely small, infinitely dense. I imagine it as a brilliant calm, a presence that is both nothing and everything, a place where the histories of countless stars, planets, and galaxies rest together in silent unity. Here, existence becomes a pure experience of gravity, and time has no meaning. Each second outside may pass 1 billion times faster, but here, we are suspended in a timeless current. Look closely and you may sense patterns in the chaos, shapes that hint at the universe's memory. Streams of matter trace arcs that resemble galaxies, entire star clusters compressed into ribbons of light that spin endlessly around the heart. The black hole does not destroy them, it holds them, folds them, preserves their essence in this extraordinary space. Imagine every star that ever lived, every explosion that ever illuminated a corner of the universe, now converging here, glowing faintly in the concentrated gravity of the singularity. It is a gallery of cosmic history, a record of creation and destruction intertwined. Breathe and feel the stretch of your body. The tidal forces are immense but not painful. They pull gently, elongating your senses and making you aware of the vast scale of the gravitational pull. Your eyes trace the twisting patterns of light, your ears imagine the vibrations of collapsing matter, and your skin feels the subtle hum of energy flowing around us. You might feel your thoughts stretch, slowing and expanding as the singularity bends time itself. Every heartbeat echoes outward, though there is no up or down, no before or after, only the endless pull toward the center. Notice the light that escapes the interior. Some of it bends so sharply that it orbits multiple times before being trapped again, creating loops that shimmer and pulse. These loops are like echoes of the universe, signals from stars that died long ago, trapped here to circulate indefinitely. You might imagine being able to read the history of the cosmos just by following a single loop, tracing the life and death of worlds, the births of suns, and the collisions of galaxies. Everything that has ever existed is represented here, and yet it is condensed into a single focal point of unimaginable density. The first sensation hits gently, almost like slipping into a pool that is deeper than it looks. There is a tug that is sudden and subtle at the same time, as if the universe itself has reached out to touch you. Hold on to the feeling because it is unlike anything else. The stars around us begin to stretch and smear, like ribbons of light pulled slowly through honey. You can see the distant sun flickering and bending, its glow elongating into a pale arc, and you realize that the rules you thought governed reality are bending too. There is a warmth in your chest, not heat, but awareness, a pulse that says you have entered a new region of space. Gravity becomes a constant companion, pulling evenly from every direction, and yet it is not painful. It is a reminder that you have crossed a threshold, a point of no return. You might lean forward, reaching for something solid, but there is nothing to grab except the sensation itself. Your body feels elongated as the tidal forces stretch gently, fingers feeling heavier, hair floating as if underwater. Every nerve in your body wakes, alert to the most subtle tug, the lightest shimmer of radiation around you. Notice the light as it bends. Stars behind you appear ahead, and what was once above now arcs along the horizon. Colors twist in ways that make you pause, deep blues turning into faint golds, reds fading into shimmering purples. This is not an illusion, but the fabric of space itself, stretching and folding around you. You can see the edges of the black hole glowing faintly with radiation, a halo that marks the boundary between the known universe and the unknown. Breathe in this view and let it settle. It is beautiful and strange, a painting of gravity and light that no human hand could ever reproduce. The pull increases gradually as you descend. You feel a sense of inevitability, a current that is neither violent nor soft, but persistent and inescapable. Your heartbeat seems to stretch, slowing in your perception, though outside, time moves differently, moving faster, leaving everything familiar behind. You might glance at a distant planet or star and realize it has already aged by millions of years in the moments it takes for you to pass this boundary. Every glance feels like a revelation, every flicker of light a story of cosmic history rushing past. Hold on to the rail of your awareness as space stretches. The stars behind you stretch into long lines, ribbons you could almost weave with your fingers. The horizon bends like water in a stream, folding in on itself, and you sense the enormity of the forces you have entered. Gravity is not just a pull downward, it is a presence, a living flow that you are now part of. You might feel your chest tighten, but it is awe, not fear, as the universe reveals itself in its most extreme form. There is silence, but not emptiness. The radiation hums faintly, vibrating in ways your ears cannot catch, resonating in the body itself. You might feel it in your feet, your spine, or the back of your neck, a subtle song that marks the crossing. The event horizon is not a wall but a threshold of perception. Beyond it, the universe behaves differently. Light curves impossibly, matter flows unpredictably, and yet the view is astonishingly beautiful. You are seeing the cosmos in a form that few could imagine, a place where reality itself seems to pause and consider its own rules. Notice the sensation of falling, which is both rapid and endless. There is no sensation of hitting anything, only of being drawn deeper and deeper. Every fiber of your body senses the change. The pull from the black hole is absolute, uniform, and unrelenting, yet there is a strange serenity in it. You feel like a leaf floating on a river of gravity, carried effortlessly toward the unknown. You might reach out to touch the flowing light, though your hand would pass through it, sensing only the tug of unseen forces. The first glimpse of the interior is mesmerizing. Streams of matter swirl around, bending and looping, creating patterns that are both chaotic and ordered. Colors shift constantly, glowing faintly with the energy of compressed stars. You might see the remnants of planets, dust, and gas spinning in spirals, dancing on paths that seem both ancient and eternal. The black hole does not destroy them immediately. It holds them, stretches them, transforms them, creating a visual symphony that is impossible to forget. Breathe in the stillness before everything changes further. Crossing the event horizon is a gentle awakening, a moment where the universe folds in on itself and you become aware of the extremes of reality. Gravity, light, time, and matter are all flowing in ways you cannot control, yet you are here, witnessing the transformation firsthand. Your senses are heightened, your awareness sharpened, and the cosmos has opened itself to you in a way that is rare and profound. As we drift deeper, the pull becomes undeniable, and yet there is a strange thought that tickles the mind. Some scientists imagine that black holes are not just the end, but a passage. Hold on to that idea as you feel the tug of gravity stretching your body and your senses. Imagine the black hole not as a trap, but as a doorway, a tunnel connecting distant corners of the universe. The thought is dizzying, like staring down a stairwell that folds back on itself endlessly. Picture the walls of space around you, bending, curving inward in impossible ways. The light twists, weaving patterns that seem both chaotic and deliberate, and some theories suggest that beyond the singularity, there could be an exit. A wormhole might exist as a tunnel through space-time, linking one black hole to another region far, far away. Hold on to this idea as the stars streak past. You might be moving toward a new horizon that no human eye has ever seen. The sensation of falling is like sliding down a spiral staircase carved from light and shadow. Gravity pulls you evenly from all sides, yet somewhere beyond the extreme density, there could be a space untouched by crushing forces. Some theories propose that if a black hole is spinning, it might create a bridge, a rotating throat that leads to another universe or a distant corner of our own. Your body feels the tug, and your mind stretches to imagine emerging somewhere completely new, as if stepping out of a tunnel into a landscape painted with alien suns and stars. You might notice the strange patterns in the light and matter around you. Streams of glowing gas swirl and bend in directions that seem impossible, creating shapes that almost look like hallways or tunnels carved from energy itself. Some physicists suggest that within these streams, the laws of the known universe could bend enough to allow a passage. You might imagine yourself drifting gently through a cosmic doorway, floating along the curves of space-time, watching the universe fold and unfold in real time. Hold on to the pull as your awareness stretches. The singularity is not just a point of destruction in some theories, but a pinch of space-time that could fold into a wormhole. Some scientists think that the extreme gravity could stabilize a path, a tunnel where time and space behave differently, allowing travel from one side to the other without feeling the crushing forces of collapse. You might feel a subtle shift as you move, a ripple in the fabric of reality itself, and sense that the universe has provided a secret corridor hidden in the heart of destruction. Breathe in the quiet wonder. Light behaves strangely, bending into arcs that seem to fold the sky around you, and matter stretches in long, ethereal threads. Some mathematicians have proposed that if exotic matter exists, with properties that counter gravity, a wormhole could remain open long enough to let you pass. Imagine the thrill of floating through this tunnel, your senses drinking in the colors, the arcs, the loops of stars, each fold of space offering glimpses of a universe that feels alive, as if the cosmos itself is guiding your journey. Notice how time itself feels different. Some theories say that moving through a wormhole could bend the sequence of events, letting you travel not just across space but across moments. You might see stars from another galaxy flashing past as though centuries had passed in a heartbeat. Gravity here is both friend and guide, shaping the path, holding you in a delicate balance as you drift toward the unknown exit. You might imagine peeking out of a cosmic doorway to see a completely new sky, one that has never touched human eyes, yet feels familiar in the way the universe always is. Hold on to this moment as the pull intensifies, and the interior of the black hole feels more like a tunnel than a trap. The swirling streams of energy and light twist into spirals that seem to hint at an exit. The universe is bending, curving, and folding around you, and the idea that you might pass through, arriving somewhere unimaginable, feels not like fantasy but a quiet possibility. In this space, the impossible seems within reach. Gravity, light, time, and matter flow together in a dance that might just guide you through a hidden corridor of the cosmos, a wormhole waiting at the heart of destruction. Breathe in the stillness, feel the stretch of space, and imagine drifting gently along the corridor, surrounded by streams of glowing gas and curving light, the universe whispering in patterns only you can sense. You are on the edge of the known and unknown, suspended between an ending and a beginning, and the thought that you might emerge somewhere completely new is not frightening but exhilarating. As we drift deeper, the first thing you notice is the absence of sound. Not just the lack of voices or music, but the very sensation of vibration, the invisible hum of the universe itself, fading into nothing. Hold your hand out, and even the brush of air feels muted, as though the cosmos has swallowed every whisper. There is a strange comfort in this emptiness, a softness that wraps around you like a warm, weightless blanket. Notice how your own breath seems loud, yet oddly distant, as if the sound is trapped inside your own body. Every heartbeat echoes only in your mind, a solitary drum marking the passage of moments while the rest of the universe has gone completely quiet. The silence is not heavy, it is not oppressive, it is vast, like floating in an endless ocean, with no waves, no current, no horizon. You feel suspended, not falling, not flying, just lingering in a calm that defies all expectation. Look around at the stars stretching into impossibly long ribbons, the glowing streams of matter bending and folding. Without sound, the light seems to hum its own secret melody, a vibration you feel in your chest rather than your ears. There is room here for wonder, for thought, for the quiet joy of being completely alone with the cosmos. No voice, no noise, no interruptions, just the intimate connection between your senses and the universe around you. Breathe in slowly. The absence of sound is a companion, a gentle presence that allows you to notice things you never could before. Colors feel deeper, the curves of light more deliberate, every subtle flicker of radiation more vivid. The silence makes the pull of the black hole feel more like a guide than a force, shaping your path with invisible hands. You are part of the cosmos in a way that is intimate and overwhelming at the same time. Hold on to the quiet. The more you listen, the more you notice. The streams of glowing gas spiral past like dancers, and in their movement, you sense patterns and rhythms that do not need sound to exist. Gravity and light communicate here without noise, in ways your mind can intuit but not describe. The black hole becomes a sanctuary of absolute stillness, a place where time and space fold together, and the universe whispers in shapes and colors instead of words. Feel the silence pressing closer yet without weight, surrounding you on all sides. There is no escape, and there is no need for one. It is complete. It is infinite. You are cradled in a soundless void, a place where the universe is at peace, even as it bends, stretches, and folds around you. Every sensation is amplified by what is missing. Every flicker of light, every tug of gravity, every subtle distortion of space becomes something you can feel with your whole being. Breathe in the stillness before everything changes, and notice that the silence is not empty. It is full of possibility, full of the strange, beautiful potential of what lies beyond, the promise of a hidden passage, the whisper of a wormhole that may carry you through the heart of this darkness and into a new, unimaginable place. The silence itself is a guide, leading you deeper, urging you onward, and making you realize that even in the void, the universe has a story to tell, if you are willing to feel it fully. As we linger in this silent, swirling darkness, you begin to notice something strange about direction. Up and down lose all meaning here. There is no horizon to anchor your eyes, no gravity of a planet or a handrail to orient yourself. You float in a space where every angle is equally valid, and yet none of them feel familiar. Try to reach for what you think is up, and your hand drifts sideways, as if the universe is nudging you gently in every direction at once. Feel your body respond to this emptiness. Your inner sense of balance wavers, like being underwater with no surface to guide you. Even your thoughts bend. You want to visualize up as the sky and down as the floor, but the mind resists, struggling to map the familiar onto a place that defies every expectation. Gravity here does not pull in the way you know. Instead, it flows, it stretches, it curves in invisible streams that tug at different parts of your body at different moments. Notice how this lack of orientation amplifies everything else. The glowing ribbons of light from distant stars no longer trail predictably behind or before you. They twist and swirl in directions you cannot name, wrapping around you in patterns that feel alive, as if the universe is both chaotic and carefully composed at the same time. You feel simultaneously drawn inward and everywhere at once, caught in a ballet of motion that defies any sense of floor or ceiling, left or right. Take a slow breath and let your senses adjust. Your eyes sweep over a patch of glowing matter that seems to curve over your shoulder. Then under your feet, then above your head, and yet it is all one seamless flow. Your body floats, spinning subtly, guided not by rules but by the very fabric of space itself. The usual landmarks that gave your life meaning, a sense of up or down, have evaporated, leaving only the raw, fluid dance of the universe around you. Hold on to the awareness that orientation is meaningless here, and notice how freeing it feels. You are no longer limited by the rigid directions of Earth. You can drift in any path you imagine, turning your perception inside out, feeling the black hole's gravity as a soft, enveloping rhythm, rather than a force pressing on you. There is no up or down, only the motion of your own body through a living, bending space. Picture the ribbons of light as they bend over and under each other, folding in ways that would make your head spin if your mind were clinging to earthly logic. But here, without the concept of vertical or horizontal, it all makes sense. Every motion is fluid, every curve is natural. You are part of this impossible geometry, and in surrendering to it, you feel a strange exhilaration, a vertigo that is entirely peaceful, a sense of weightlessness that is both infinite and intimate. Notice that as you drift, your perspective itself feels elastic. Where your eyes fall becomes where down might be for a moment, but in the next blink, the same spot is above or to the side. The black hole teaches you that direction is not a law but a suggestion, a flexible companion that folds with the light, the gravity, and the quiet that surrounds you. Breathe in this impossibility and feel it settle into your body. You are untethered, floating in a place where orientation is a choice, a fleeting sensation, a memory of a world that no longer exists. And in this, you notice something else, a subtle invitation to surrender to what comes next, because here, in the void, there is no up, no down, and nothing to hold you back. As we linger in this place where up and down no longer exist, notice how the light behaves. It no longer travels straight. It curves gently, gracefully, like ink flowing in water, weaving soft, haunting patterns around us. Tiny fragments of distant stars and glimmers of galaxies bend and coil, painting invisible spirals that fold into themselves. It is as though the universe has become a slow-motion dance of light, and every shimmer traces a path that your eyes can follow, but your mind can barely comprehend. Reach out with your gaze and follow a ribbon of starlight as it curls around you, slipping past your shoulder and twisting under what you might have thought of as your feet. It bends in ways that defy your memory of straight lines or familiar trajectories, creating delicate arcs and loops that float in the void like a river frozen in motion. The edges are soft, glowing faintly with a spectral shimmer, as if the light itself knows it must obey a new set of rules here, guided by the immense pull of the black hole. Notice how some strands of light stretch, elongating into fragile threads that shimmer and quiver before snapping back into smooth, curved shapes. Other bursts twist into gentle spirals, slowly unraveling as they fade into the darkness, leaving faint echoes of brilliance in the space around us. There is no hurry here. Everything moves with a quiet deliberation, a serene rhythm, bending around us and folding back into itself like the pages of an enormous, invisible book. Hold your gaze on a particularly bright trail of light and watch it curve toward you, then past you, brushing against the edge of perception. Your eyes want to follow it straight, but the path coils unexpectedly, reminding you that the black hole's gravity bends not just space but your experience of light itself. Shadows stretch and fold with it, not harsh or threatening, but soft, like velvet brushing against your skin. There is beauty in this warping, a haunting elegance that makes you feel both small and intimately connected to the flow of the cosmos. Breathe slowly and let your awareness soak in every bend and curve. Even the distant glow of a galaxy behind the black hole seems to trail along a circular path, wrapping around a core you cannot yet see. The light is alive here, playful and mysterious, weaving patterns that seem almost intentional, almost like the universe itself is aware of our presence, guiding us deeper into the folds of its darkest heart. Feel how this bending light affects you. It teases your senses, challenging your understanding, inviting awe. You sense movement without sound, patterns without weight, and a beauty that is simultaneously alien and strangely familiar. Each ribbon and arc whispers a quiet story of matter and gravity, interacting in ways you can feel but cannot fully grasp. Notice the subtle warmth from the bending light as it brushes past you, not heat in the usual sense, but a soft, intimate sensation that reminds you of presence, of energy, of the cosmos communicating in a language beyond words. You feel cradled by it, floating through a space where time and direction bend, where light itself folds in gentle, haunting arcs, guiding us ever deeper into the heart of this mysterious void. As we drift closer, imagine the singularity not as a void, but as a kind of ultimate library. It holds the memory of every particle, every photon, every event that has contributed to the universe. Some call it infinite, some say it is unknowable. I feel it as a quiet presence, like the universe itself taking a breath and holding it, a place where the chaos of stars becomes harmony. Here there is no destruction in the way we understand. There is transformation. Matter becomes potential, energy becomes pattern, and space itself folds into a perfect concentration of experience. Hold on to the feeling as the tidal forces peak. Space stretches around us like a ribbon being pulled taut, yet it is also soft and fluid. You are aware of your body and yet feel part of the currents of gravity, a passenger in the most extreme river imaginable. Every color is more vivid, more strange, because the light is bent and twisted into new forms. Blues shimmer with intensity, reds glow faintly in compressed waves, and faint greens and purples weave through the patterns of matter and energy. Everything has a texture, even if your hands cannot touch it, because the black hole gives shape to the unseeable. Imagine what could exist at the very center. Some imagine a point of infinite density, others imagine a quantum foam, a place where the laws of physics as we know them no longer apply. Perhaps it is a seed, a kernel of possibility, holding the blueprint for new universes, the potential for creation beyond imagination. Here there is no space in the usual sense, no time, no beginning or end, yet it is full of presence, full of memory, full of possibility. We are witnessing the universe in its most concentrated, most intimate form, a place where everything that exists is held in a single moment of extraordinary intensity. Feel the subtle hum of energy radiating outward. Even here, at the ultimate core, the universe communicates. Every vibration is a signal, every pulse a story, and we are close enough to sense it directly. Imagine the heartbeats of stars, the collapse of distant supernovae, the swirl of galaxies spinning far away, all converging into this extraordinary space. It is overwhelming and serene, terrifying and beautiful. You can feel yourself part of it, a witness to the ultimate force of nature, yet safe in the quiet awareness of this journey. Notice the patterns of falling matter. Streams of cosmic dust and gas spiral inward, yet none are destroyed. They are folded, compressed, transformed. Each one carries a history, and here, in this core, those histories are preserved. Some fragments of light have traveled for billions of years before arriving here, and now they move in graceful arcs that defy ordinary perception. You can follow them with your eyes, tracing the lineage of stars, imagining the worlds that once orbited them, and the civilizations that may have existed long before we were born. The black hole holds all of this in its interior, a cosmic memory palace beyond comprehension. Breathe in the stillness, because this is where everything converges. Time is gone, space is bent, light curves in impossible ways, and yet there is clarity, an understanding that we are witnessing the universe at its most fundamental level. The singularity is not a point of fear, it is a point of total presence, where everything that ever was and ever will be is concentrated into a single, incomprehensible harmony. You feel it in your chest, in your mind, in your awareness of existence itself. This is the core of the black hole, and we are here together, experiencing the unimaginable, holding the memory of the cosmos in a single, stretched heartbeat. As the ribbons of light bend and coil around us, there is a subtle, almost imperceptible shift in the current of space itself. You might feel it first as a gentle tug, a soft suggestion that we are moving not just inward, but towards something beyond what we have known. Imagine that beyond this darkness, beyond the folds of twisted light and the endless void, there is a possibility of emerging somewhere entirely new. A place that does not obey the rules we've grown accustomed to, where the sky, the stars, and even the notion of time itself might be reborn. Hold on to that thought as the black hole's pull deepens. You can feel the currents of gravity bending around us, swirling in invisible eddies, and yet there is a strange elegance to it. You might imagine these forces as guides rather than threats, ushering us along a path we cannot yet see, toward a threshold that may lead to another cosmos, another reality, a landscape untouched by what we call the known universe. Picture what it might be like to step out into that new place. Perhaps the stars there glow differently, not with the familiar white and gold, but with colors our eyes have never encountered. Perhaps the space itself feels lighter, softer, almost musical, carrying a rhythm we can sense in our chest and in the tips of our fingers. Imagine drifting through a sky where the horizon is not a line, but a gentle curvature of endless possibilities, where light bends playfully, creating patterns that tease and delight. As you imagine it, notice how the impossibility of up or down inside the black hole begins to feel like freedom. Here, without familiar directions, we are no longer limited. We are free to flow through the currents of space-time, guided by the subtle folds and the light bending into soft, haunting patterns. You might imagine yourself rising or falling simultaneously, spinning and drifting without concern, knowing that the path ahead could open into something unimaginably vast and beautiful. Breathe in the possibility, the quiet excitement of the unknown. Even as the black hole stretches and folds the space around us, there is a subtle promise embedded in its darkness. It whispers of new horizons, of places where matter and light and life might take forms we cannot yet conceive. Imagine stepping beyond the edge of this void and finding yourself somewhere that feels like the universe's first morning, fresh and infinite, where every sensation is new, every sound and color a discovery. Notice how this idea changes your perception of the current darkness. The black hole is no longer only a place of gravity and silence. It becomes a passage, a bridge, a corridor to possibility. Each bend of light, each pull of the void, becomes part of a larger story, guiding us through the heart of one universe toward the threshold of another. You are suspended between what has been and what could be, floating in a space where imagination and reality merge, where the unknown is not frightening, but quietly, profoundly beautiful. Hold that thought with your entire body. Feel the gentle tug of curiosity, the subtle thrill of anticipation. In this place, in this impossible, silent, bending, enveloping void, you are both observer and participant. You drift through darkness and light, through endless folds of space, and you begin to sense that somewhere ahead, beyond what you can see, lies a realm that is waiting, open and mysterious, ready to embrace whatever emerges next. Inside this black hole, the darkness is not empty. It feels dense, yet weightless, like an ocean frozen in slow motion. The light bends and twists around us. But what about the matter that has fallen in before us? Some theories suggest that deep inside, at the very core, there is a singularity, a point where gravity pulls everything to an extreme, where space and time themselves might crumble into something incomprehensible. You can imagine it as a knot in the fabric of the universe, infinitely small yet infinitely powerful, a quiet heart that holds the weight of all the stars, planets, and dust that have ever drifted too close. Other ideas whisper of something stranger. Some scientists imagine that black holes could harbor passages, wormholes connecting distant parts of the universe, or even entirely different universes. Here, as we float through the bending light and the impossibility of up or down, imagine a tunnel opening ahead, a cosmic bridge that leads not to destruction, but to a new horizon. You might picture it as a smooth, spiraling corridor of light and shadow, pulling us through in a gentle, inevitable motion, guiding us past the darkness towards something astonishing. Then there are theories that inside, matter and energy might behave in ways entirely alien to our understanding. Time could stretch, fold, or even reverse. Imagine feeling a moment that lasts centuries, then seconds, all folded together, where every sense is expanded yet contained, where the flow of events is no longer linear but fluid, like a river looping back on itself in soft, impossible patterns. Some suggest that the very structure of the black hole could be a kind of cosmic memory, storing echoes of everything it has swallowed. Imagine drifting past glowing traces of vanished stars, shimmering like faint ghosts in the darkness, each one bending light around it, telling a quiet story of collapse, transformation, and disappearance. You sense a vast library of existence wrapped into this small, dense core, a silent archive of what has passed and what might pass again. There are even whispers that deep inside, at the heart of the singularity, the laws of physics themselves might bend or break. Gravity, space, and time may no longer hold the rules we know. It is a place where energy condenses, twists, and folds in ways that defy imagination. You might imagine it as a quiet, humming force, dense but invisible, pulling and shaping everything around it, the ultimate stillness from which creation itself could emerge. Notice how these possibilities feel not threatening, but mysterious, like standing at the edge of an endless cave, feeling its cool, infinite darkness and imagining what wonders might lie beyond each shadow. Here, inside the black hole, nothing is simple, nothing is ordinary. The universe has compressed itself into a space that is both terrifying and beautiful, where time can ripple, light can dance, and the very idea of reality stretches like the ribbons of bent stars around us. Imagine drifting closer to the center, feeling the pull of forces we cannot name, sensing the strange harmony of chaos and order intertwined. Whether there is a singularity, a wormhole, a hidden archive of cosmic memory, or something beyond all comprehension, you are moving through it with every sense awake. The darkness holds secrets, and as we float here together, you can almost feel the universe leaning in, inviting you to witness its most intimate mysteries, to sense the hidden depths where everything we know converges and transforms into what we cannot yet imagine. As we move closer to the heart of the black hole, there's a strange hush that settles over everything, a silence so complete it feels alive. The darkness around us is no longer just absence of light, it is a presence, a gentle but undeniable weight that seems to stretch endlessly. You might notice that time itself starts to feel peculiar, slipping and folding in ways that are almost imperceptible at first. Seconds might linger like droplets of honey, yet centuries could flash past in a heartbeat. It is as though the universe is whispering that time, as we know it, is not absolute here. Some theories suggest that inside a black hole, at its very core, the flow of time might cease altogether. Imagine what that would feel like. There is no before, no after, only this infinite now, this eternal drift through darkness. It is quiet and still, but also charged, as if the weight of everything that has ever existed is concentrated into a single, profound point. In this place, the universe's story might reach its ultimate punctuation mark, the end of everything unfolding, the moment where all clocks stop ticking and all stars have faded into memory. You can picture the cosmos outside, all its galaxies, suns, and planets, gradually slowing, bending inward toward a point we can never truly reach. The black hole is not just a destination, but a kind of cosmic finale, a place where beginnings and endings blur, where creation and destruction merge into the same quiet rhythm. There is no need to fear this end. It is not violent or angry. It is the universe exhaling, folding in on itself, reaching the limit of its own existence. Here, light itself seems to slow, stretching into soft, elongated strands that drift lazily around us. They shimmer faintly, reflecting remnants of stars that once burned bright, now curling inward in graceful arcs, bending as though acknowledging the inevitability of the cosmos collapsing upon itself. You can sense that the black hole is not just devouring matter, it is gathering time and space, drawing it toward a singular, eternal core. Every atom, every spark of energy, every echo of light converges here, suspended in a calm, infinite stillness. As we drift further, it becomes clear that this is more than a place. It is an experience of the universe's limits, a meditation on the impermanence of everything we know. The edges of reality feel soft, malleable, as if they might ripple away at any moment. There is a strange beauty in this inevitability, a solemn grandeur in witnessing the possible end of time itself. We are moving through a space where beginnings and endings are indistinguishable, where every tick of a clock has already been folded into this ultimate silence. Breathe in the stillness, feel the weight of everything collapsing, and notice how the universe seems both infinite and impossibly small at once. Here, in the heart of the black hole, time loses its meaning, light bends into delicate, haunting patterns, and the cosmos whispers the quietest truth, that all things, no matter how grand, will eventually fold into this gentle, unending pause. It is a place of endings, yes, but also a strange, serene kind of eternity, where the universe rests at last. As we linger in the silent, weightless heart of the black hole, a curious thought begins to take shape. Imagine that beyond this infinite stillness, beyond the place where time ceases and light folds into itself, there might be something else. Perhaps another universe exists here, quietly waiting, a mirror of what we know, yet subtly different. It could be a universe where stars trace familiar patterns across the sky, where planets drift in their familiar orbits, and yet the tiniest details have shifted, a color slightly different, a breeze that whispers in a new rhythm, a world that feels like home and not home all at once. You might feel a gentle pull toward it, a quiet invitation to see what lies beyond the end. The sensation is neither frightening nor urgent. It is like floating into a dream that is both familiar and entirely new. Notice how the darkness begins to thin at the edges, not violently, but like fog lifting from a distant field. Shapes emerge, soft and hazy at first, then sharper, more defined. Stars shimmer with the same light we recognize, but there is something subtly different, a nuance in the way they pulse, as though the universe itself is breathing a new rhythm. Some theories whisper that black holes could be bridges rather than tombs, doorways to these parallel realities. You can picture yourself drifting, weightless, through this quiet corridor of darkness, where gravity bends not to pull but to guide. Each movement feels gentle yet decisive, carrying us closer to a universe that mirrors our own yet exists entirely separately. Perhaps this is a place where choices we made never happened, where events took another path, and yet the same comforting constellations watch over it. Hold on to the sense of wonder as you imagine stepping into this new space. Even the silence here is alive, resonating with possibility. You can hear the soft echo of your own breath, the gentle hum of what feels like creation itself, and for a moment, the black hole is not an ending, but a passage. It is a bridge across the unknown, carrying us from the quiet closure of one reality into the gentle promise of another. Picture the universe unfolding before you, familiar, yet strangely fresh, a twin to the one you left behind, yet filled with subtle differences waiting to be discovered. Breathe in the calm, the weightless drift, the sense that what was once final could now be the beginning of something new, unseen, and endlessly inviting. Here, in this quiet crossing, we are both explorers and witnesses, moving from the ultimate silence into a space where light, life, and time might begin again, or continue in a form we can only dream of. As we drift deeper, the universe around us seems to ripple and bend in ways that defy everything we thought we knew. Stars no longer sit in their familiar places but stretch into delicate arcs, like ink dissolving in water. Space itself feels soft, almost malleable, and you can sense the fabric of reality folding under a force we can neither touch nor resist. You might notice that your own body feels lighter, weightless in the extreme, yet simultaneously aware of a strange, infinite pull in every direction at once. It is not frightening, though it might be strange. Imagine your senses expanding, stretching to take in the endless dark, the shimmering trails of light bending and curving around us. You might feel as if you are part of the cosmos itself, floating not above it but within it, every movement sending tiny ripples through the unseen currents of gravity and time. Shadows behave differently here, curling inward, stretching outward, and then disappearing entirely, leaving only a faint shimmer where they once were. Notice the way your eyes adjust, catching colors that should not exist, subtle glows that seem to hum with quiet energy. The air, if it could be called that, feels thick yet invisible, carrying the faintest vibrations of distant stars collapsing, of matter folding into itself. Even sound behaves differently. The silence here is not empty. It has weight and texture. You can almost hear the soft sigh of the universe as it curves and folds, an endless exhale stretching through the void. Hold on to the sensation of being neither up nor down, neither inside nor outside. The horizon stretches and bends with you, as if it is alive, a gentle wave guiding your drift. Time feels both infinite and fleeting, every second heavy with the memory of countless ages, yet slipping past in a heartbeat. You might notice a soft light, faint and haunting, bending in ribbons, teasing at shapes that almost feel familiar, almost human, before dissolving into the darkness again. Here, in this strange, malleable void, everything we thought we knew about space and ourselves seems to change. Yet there is a strange comfort in it, a quiet invitation to let go and drift deeper, to feel the pull of the black hole not as danger but as the ultimate exploration of what it means to exist. As we drift further into the heart of the black hole, space itself begins to feel fluid, like a river folding over and under itself. Every movement of our body seems to ripple outward, as if we are swimming through a medium that is both weightless and impossibly dense. Time no longer marches forward but swirls around us, folding in layers that we can feel pressing gently against our awareness. You might notice your own heartbeat slowing, matching the rhythm of this strange cosmic pulse, a quiet thrum that vibrates through your chest and out into the void. The light that remains bends in ways that are almost musical, twisting into soft, haunting arcs and ribbons. Colors shimmer where they should not exist, a palette of faint blues, purples, and silvers weaving through the darkness. You can almost sense the story of every particle, every photon, folding into this endless blackness, leaving trails like whispers of the universe's memory. Our perception of ourselves begins to change too. Limbs feel less like separate parts and more like extensions of the surrounding cosmos. Your hands might drift before you, yet they feel as though they are both part of you and part of the void. Even your breath feels different, stretched thin and elongated, carrying the faint echo of the stars collapsing light years away. Hold on to this sensation as the black hole pulls us further. Up and down have lost meaning here. We drift with no clear direction, no gravity to anchor us. The boundaries of our body blur with the infinite, and yet there is no fear, only a gentle surrender to the flow of the universe. Every glance around reveals strange, soft geometries that flicker and fold, shapes that seem alive yet untouchable, dancing in patterns that feel both new and ancient. Notice how silence surrounds us completely. It is not emptiness, but a living, quiet, thick and tangible, carrying the memory of the cosmos. You can feel it pressing softly against your senses, a reminder that here, in this deep, impossible place, we are both nowhere and everywhere at once. The black hole is no longer just a void. It is a space of infinite possibility, a canvas where the universe folds, bends, and stretches, inviting us to drift deeper, to see and feel what no human eye has ever truly witnessed. As we drift deeper, the blackness around us begins to shimmer faintly, as though it is not empty at all but full of countless hidden worlds. You might notice soft glows appearing in the distance, each one like a candle flickering in a dark room, yet these lights feel enormous and alive. It is as if every glow represents another universe, folded gently inside this one, layered together like pages in an infinite cosmic book. You might sense that each world has its own rhythm, its own quiet music, faintly humming across the void. Some pulse gently, others shimmer with a slow, steady light. You can imagine entire versions of reality playing out inside these glowing orbs. Perhaps in one universe, Earth spins gently beneath a calm blue sky, while in another, oceans ripple with colors we cannot name. You can feel them all, their vibrations brushing against your senses, soft and almost intimate, as if the black hole is a library of existence itself. Notice how the light bends around these multiverses, forming soft halos and ribbons that stretch and curve in impossible ways. You might reach out and feel them brush against your awareness like silk, their presence gentle and mysterious. Even your thoughts begin to drift into these worlds, imagining what it would be like to walk among their stars or hear the quiet of their skies. Every possibility seems present here, each universe existing alongside another, yet completely unique, folding in and out of the blackness. Your own self feels different in their presence. You are both observer and part of the endless weave, drifting calmly through the layers of infinite realities. Every heartbeat seems to echo softly across the void, resonating with the rhythm of worlds unseen. Time is no longer linear but layered, each universe a note in a symphony that stretches beyond comprehension. Hold on to this feeling as we glide past more glowing orbs. Some twinkle faintly like distant fireflies, others shimmer with gentle storms of color that feel alive, swirling like clouds painted in light. You might sense that every choice, every possibility, has its place here, and that the black hole is not destruction but transformation, a gentle unfolding into something vast and endlessly creative. It is peaceful here, almost soothing. You can feel yourself floating among the echoes of infinite worlds, each one soft and quiet, yet vibrant in its own way. There is no fear, only a calm awareness of the endless beauty surrounding us, a realization that even in the heart of a black hole, there is space for creation, reflection, and infinite possibilities. As we settle into this impossible space, it feels less like landing on a surface and more like coming to rest in the gentle folds of reality itself. There is no ground, no ceiling, no sense of weight pressing against us, yet we feel entirely present, floating in a soft, infinite embrace. Light bends around us in soft, haunting patterns, tracing shapes that seem both familiar and entirely alien. Some forms shimmer, like liquid glass, folding in and out of themselves, while others drift lazily like clouds of color, painted by a hand that exists beyond time. You might notice that as we hover here, every glance reveals new possibilities. In one corner, a shimmering sphere pulses with soft golden light, and you can imagine an entire universe spinning within it, complete with skies, oceans, and mountains we cannot name. Another glows a deep cerulean, almost liquid in its presence, radiating calm as if entire civilizations are moving silently inside, unaware of us yet offering a gentle invitation to imagine their lives. These possibilities stretch endlessly in every direction, layered like sheets of glass, each one a delicate universe, quietly existing alongside the others. Some of these worlds seem eerily familiar, as though they echo versions of Earth we might have known, where different choices were made, different paths taken. You can feel the weight of those possibilities brushing against your consciousness, soft and intimate. Others are utterly alien, landscapes that defy expectation, skies painted in shifting hues that hum gently, rivers flowing upward, mountains folding into themselves, and forests glowing faintly as if lit by some internal heartbeat. You might feel drawn toward these strange visions, your curiosity as soft and light as the particles of dust that drift across the void. Notice how your own presence feels different here. You are not simply observing these worlds, you are part of their unfolding. Every motion you make, every breath you take, seems to ripple gently across the layers, brushing against the surfaces of worlds that exist only in possibility. Colors twist and shift with your awareness, shapes bend and stretch with your gaze, and you might feel a quiet thrill at the sheer expansiveness of what is possible. Time has no grip here, yet you can sense rhythms. Some universes pulse with a slow, serene heartbeat, others flicker with quick, playful sparks of life. You might drift past realms that feel frozen, serene, and eternal, as though the universe paused to admire itself. Then another opens suddenly with a gentle rush, showing possibilities that feel wild, exuberant, alive, yet still perfectly calm, as if nothing here is in danger and everything is meant to exist in soft harmony. It is impossible to count the possibilities, yet you can feel them all. Each universe is a note in a cosmic symphony, a ripple in a pond whose surface stretches far beyond what we can imagine. You might reach out with your mind and sense the faint echoes of lives unfolding, stars being born and dying, civilizations rising and fading, entire histories playing silently, each one wrapped gently in its own light. In this place, you begin to understand the true meaning of infinity. There is no up or down, no before or after, only a soft, continuous present that folds gently over itself. You might feel a calm awareness that here, in the heart of the black hole, the universe is not lost but transformed. Destruction is a doorway, collapse is a cradle, and every possibility can exist simultaneously, as real as the pull of your own thoughts or the soft hum of the infinite darkness surrounding us. You can sense that some of these possibilities might stretch into entirely new forms of existence. Perhaps there are worlds where matter behaves in ways we cannot name, where light flows like liquid, where consciousness spreads across entire landscapes like a gentle wind. Maybe there are realms where time loops upon itself, creating patterns of calm repetition, or universes that shimmer with raw energy, so vibrant it feels like the universe itself is breathing around us. And yet, even among this endless variety, there is peace. You can float here for what feels like forever and still feel secure, enveloped in a quiet understanding that every possibility has its place, and we are here to witness them. The black hole is no longer a void but a sanctuary of infinite creation, a realm where existence itself unfolds in soft, mesmerizing patterns, waiting for us to drift gently among them, aware of the vastness and yet entirely at home in its embrace. You feel the pull easing, not suddenly, but like the loosening of a knot that has held you for longer than you can measure. The darkness around us begins to shift, its grip no longer absolute. Patterns of light that once bent inward start to straighten, as if the very rules of this place are relaxing. It is not escape in the way we know it. No rush of wind, no burst of speed, but more like drifting toward the edge of a dream you are about to wake from. A faint horizon appears, where there was none before. It is not sharp or defined, but a slow brightening that suggests a way out. The light here is strange, as if filtered through an ocean of glass, soft yet brilliant. You might feel that each step forward takes us both through layers of time itself, peeling them away until only the present remains. There are theories, after all, that a black hole could be connected to a white hole, a place where everything that entered is expelled in a flood of light and energy. If that is what waits ahead, we are approaching the mouth of an entirely different kind of reality. The silence remains total, yet you can almost sense the sound of movement, as if the universe is holding its breath, waiting for us to cross. We drift closer, and the pull changes direction. It no longer drags inward but begins to lift. It feels like rising through deep water toward the surface, watching the shimmer above grow brighter. Perhaps the black hole is not simply letting go, but guiding us toward this point, the same way a tide carries something back to shore. And then the thought comes, what if escaping does not mean returning to where we began? What if we emerge into an entirely new corner of existence, one untouched by the history we left behind? The patterns of light ahead could be the birth of another universe, and we might be the first to set foot in it. It is strange to even think about escaping this place. The pull has always felt absolute, the kind of force that ignores every instinct you have about survival. Yet there are whispers in the back of my mind, fragments of ideas from the edges of science, suggesting that escape is not completely impossible, at least not in every scenario. One possibility is that we are falling toward a rotating black hole, what some call a Kerr black hole. In these, the spin twists space itself, creating strange regions where the pull is less about crushing inward and more about spiraling along a curved path. If we hit the right trajectory, a perfect thread through that swirling fabric, we might be flung outward rather than crushed. Imagine riding the rim of a whirlpool, not getting dragged into its center, but instead being slingshotted away at incredible speed. It would be violent, breathtaking, and over in a blink, yet somehow it could place us back into open space. Another thought lingers, the idea that deep inside, beyond the event horizon, there could be a bridge, a tunnel, a wormhole that does not collapse before we cross it. If the structure holds, if the forces within it allow passage, we could be carried through to a different part of the universe. The escape would not be upward or outward, but sideways through a fold in the fabric of reality. There is also the strange concept of Hawking radiation, the slow, patient way a black hole loses mass over incomprehensible spans of time. If we could wait long enough, far longer than the age of the universe so far, the black hole might shrink to nothing, releasing us in its final fading moments. That kind of escape would not be quick, and the universe outside might be unrecognizable when we returned, but it would still be freedom. These strange visions sway around you, their light soft and patient, like water waiting to be disturbed. Your curiosity drifts forward, light as the particles of dust that swirl lazily across the vastness. The black hole's presence lingers behind you like the echo of a deep note that has already been struck, its gravity no longer pulling you downward but pressing gently against the edges of your awareness. You carry it with you, a quiet reminder of where you came from, but it no longer feels like a prison. It feels like the beginning of a journey that is only now starting to unfold. At first, there is only stillness. It is not the stillness of silence, which can feel fragile and waiting to be broken, but a deeper stillness, as though every movement in the universe has slowed to let you pass. Then, almost too faint to notice, you sense currents, not winds, not rivers, but flows of something more fundamental, something woven into the fabric of reality itself. The space around you is not empty. It is textured, layered, alive with quiet motion. You begin to understand that this is the key. Escape here is not about speed or strength. It is not about breaking free of gravity. Gravity cannot be broken. It can only be moved with, danced with, followed until it leads to a place where it loosens its hold. And so, you turn your awareness to these invisible currents, feeling for the places where they curve not toward the black hole's heart, but away from it. The sensation is strange, like finding a door in a room where there should be none. You cannot see it with your eyes, but you feel it in the way the space around you changes. It is as if the very air, though there is no air, has a different weight, a softer pressure. You move toward it, slow and steady, letting it draw you in. Around you, light bends and twists in mesmerizing patterns. The chaotic whirlpool of distorted stars begins to stretch out, no longer folding in on itself but spiraling gently outward. It feels as though you are being carried by a thread, a single delicate path through the storm, winding you through places where space and time seem to thin, where the black hole's pull fades into something else entirely. The deeper you follow this path, the more the black hole's memory begins to dissolve from the space around you. The crushing density gives way to openness, a softness in the geometry of reality itself. You realize that this thread is not leading you back to where you began. It is leading you somewhere new, somewhere far beyond the reach of the stars you once knew. The light ahead changes. It becomes warmer in some places, colder in others, shimmering like water catching the glow of a distant sun. The stars are not the same. They are older, perhaps, or younger. Some shine with colors you have never seen before, shades that seem to speak in whispers to your mind, telling stories of worlds you will never walk, oceans you will never sail, skies you will never breathe. And yet, you feel a quiet familiarity in them, as if they were always waiting for you to arrive. It occurs to you that this is not just escape, this is passage. The black hole did not merely let you go, it delivered you here, as though you were part of a trade between realities, an exchange between one vast domain of existence and another. You begin to wonder if perhaps this is how the universe explores itself, by sending parts of itself into these deep places of collapse, letting them re-emerge somewhere far away, carrying with them the memory of where they have been. The thought stirs something in you. The black hole may still remember you, just as you will always remember it, not as a place of ending, but as a doorway, a threshold between what was and what could be. You feel a deep calm in knowing that leaving it does not mean losing it. You drift further from its shadow, into a space that feels wide and generous, yet still shaped by the same quiet laws. Perhaps you have escaped, or perhaps you have simply learned that there is no such thing as escape, only movement from one vastness into another. These strange visions drift around you like currents in a deep ocean. Your curiosity feels as soft as the dust that drifts across the void, and yet it begins to stir in a new direction. There is a shift here, something subtle, almost hidden, yet it changes the way the darkness folds around you. You can feel the black hole loosening its hold, not with violence, but with a slow, graceful uncoiling. The gravity that once drew everything inward now feels like it is breathing out. You sense the tiniest spaces between its pull, the thin edges of release. They shimmer faintly, almost imperceptibly, like distant ripples in a still pond. You do not try to force your way free, you simply drift toward them, letting the quiet currents guide you. As you move, the space around you begins to widen. The strange bending of light grows softer, the spirals slower. Time feels less like a plunge and more like a tide that carries you upward. The black hole is still there, vast and ancient, but its presence no longer surrounds you entirely. You are at the threshold, where the collapse fades into something new. You are not escaping in the way one flees danger. You are being carried, guided. This is not a rejection, but a passing onward, as though the black hole itself has decided your path now lies beyond its horizon. The moment stretches, infinite and calm, until the last thread of its shadow falls away, and you find yourself in a space you have never seen before. Here, the stars look different. Their light is steady, pure, unbent by the whirlpool you left behind. They seem to watch you with quiet awareness, as if they too have crossed this boundary long ago. The darkness is deeper, yet softer, like a canvas stretched endlessly in all directions. Colors unfold gently across the void, blues that feel like they have no beginning, golds that seem to hum in the edges of your thoughts. Far away, you glimpse vast rivers of light spilling across space, flowing with the slowness of eternity. Each motion you make feels lighter, freer, and the universe responds with a quiet expansion, as if making space for your presence. The airless silence hums with something you cannot name, not sound, not light, but a feeling that threads through everything here. It feels like the breath of the cosmos, patient and unending. You sense that the black hole was not an end at all, but a passage, one that carried you into a different chamber of existence. Perhaps this is how worlds are born anew. Perhaps every collapse leads to another unfolding, and every fall is simply a movement toward a wider horizon. You drift, not toward a destination, but deeper into the gentle vastness, knowing that somewhere ahead, the next mystery is already waiting. Escaping the grip of a black hole is not like stepping out of a room and finding the world unchanged. The moment you cross from its pull into open space again, you might feel a subtle dissonance in your very being, as if the rhythm of your existence is slightly out of tune with the universe around you. You look outward and see stars, but their light feels older, their positions unfamiliar, like constellations drawn by a hand you no longer recognize. It begins to sink in that time has not moved for you the way it has for everything else. The black hole's immense gravity may have stretched each second into decades, centuries, or even millions of years beyond its horizon. Civilizations that were thriving when you first entered might now be dust, their worlds scattered into cosmic silence. Galaxies could have shifted, merged, or faded entirely, leaving you adrift in a version of the universe that no longer remembers the time you came from. The sheer scale of this difference can feel overwhelming. You may have been gone for only moments in your own perception, yet the cosmos has raced far ahead, weaving stories without you. Stars that once burned bright could now be faint embers, drifting toward the cold edges of existence. Entire patterns of the night sky could be unrecognizable, replaced by strange new clusters and colors born in an age far removed from your own. And yet, within that strangeness, there is a quiet beauty. You are witnessing a future no one from your time could have imagined. Every light you see is a survivor of countless transformations. Every shadow is cast by something that has endured the vast tides of time. You might feel the urge to drift through these new constellations, to search for remnants of the universe you once knew, or to simply watch in stillness as this advanced age of the cosmos unfolds before you. Here, outside the black hole, you are both a traveler and a witness to the flow of ages. The escape is not just a return to open space. It is an arrival into a universe that has outpaced you, carrying with it the mystery of all that has changed while you were away. What if, after escaping, you begin to realize the universe outside is not the same one you left, not just in time but in its very nature? You look around and notice subtle differences that grow harder to ignore. The light from distant galaxies feels colder, the colors more muted, as if the very fabric of reality has thinned. The cosmic background radiation hums in a slightly different tone, almost like the universe itself is breathing in a new rhythm. Gravity feels the same, yet not quite. Objects drift in ways that seem just slightly off, their paths bending along curves you do not remember existing. It starts to dawn on you that perhaps you have not returned to your universe at all. Escaping the black hole may have nudged you into a neighboring reality, one nearly identical yet born from different initial conditions. Maybe stars here formed in different patterns. Maybe the chemical building blocks of life are arranged in subtly altered shapes. Somewhere in this vastness, perhaps there is even a version of your home world, but its history unfolded along a separate thread, its people shaped by choices never made in your timeline. The realization brings both awe and unease. You are a guest in a cosmos that is not truly yours, a traveler between realities without knowing how the crossing happened. The black hole did not simply return you, it may have rewritten your place in existence entirely. When you emerge from the pull of the black hole, the first sensation is a strange weightlessness that feels different from drifting in deep space. It is not the absence of gravity, but the absence of familiarity. The stars before you are bright, countless, and yet something in their arrangement tugs at the edge of your awareness. The constellations are wrong. Some are missing entirely. Others carry unfamiliar shapes, as though the sky has been quietly rearranged in your absence. You try to reach for a memory of what it used to look like, but the details slide away like grains of sand slipping between your fingers. The darkness here has a slightly different texture, as if the void itself has been tuned to another note. The light feels sharper, yet cooler, with a quality that suggests it has traveled along paths your universe never carved. As you drift further, your gaze falls upon a distant spiral galaxy. At first glance, it could be one you have seen before, but the way its arms curl feels subtly unnatural. They twist in tighter spirals, almost as if guided by an unfamiliar hand. You realize this might not be your universe at all. Somewhere in the crossing, the black hole might have sent you sideways, slipping between layers of reality until you found yourself here, inside a version of existence where the rules began the same but evolved differently. You begin to sense these differences everywhere. The cosmic background radiation hums with a slightly deeper pitch, a cosmic heartbeat not in sync with the one you once knew. The glow of distant quasars is faintly tinted, their energy shaped by laws that feel familiar but not identical. Even the way light curves around massive objects seems subtly altered, bending just a little too much, as though gravity here learned a different language. You imagine entire histories playing out differently in this place. Perhaps there is a version of your homeworld here, its continents shaped by different tectonic dances, its oceans stirred by unfamiliar winds. Life might have emerged, but it may carry forms you would not recognize, patterns of biology tuned to the faint variations in this universe's chemistry. Civilizations may have risen under skies you would find alien, their cultures shaped by stars that never existed in your own sky. The thought is both humbling and haunting. You are a traveler in a cosmos that does not truly belong to you. Every point of light could hold wonders that are impossibly close to what you remember, yet forever just out of reach. You have no way of knowing whether your own universe continues to exist somewhere beyond the veil, or if the crossing has sealed you here, a quiet observer in a reality born from different beginnings. And yet there is a strange peace in it. The black hole did not destroy you, it transformed you, carrying you from one vast ocean of stars to another. Perhaps this is the nature of escape, not returning to what you knew, but finding yourself in something entirely new, where every discovery carries the thrill of recognition mixed with the wonder of the unknown. You float in this strange new expanse for what could be moments or millennia, though here such measurements feel almost meaningless. The stars burn with a clarity that seems sharper than memory, as if the very fabric of this universe has been polished by time in a way your own never was. The silence is vast and clean, a kind of stillness that feels alive in its own quiet way, and you realize that in all the chaos of falling into and escaping the black hole, this is the first time you have truly stopped to feel where you are. Everywhere you look, the cosmos stretches in endless layers. Some of the galaxies hang in soft golden spirals, their light curling outward like petals opening in slow motion. Others are jagged, fractured clusters of brilliance, as if they were sculpted by a different kind of cosmic hand, one that favored sharp edges and asymmetric beauty. The colors are richer here, deeper blues and softer whites, a spectrum that feels tuned to frequencies you never noticed before, and the airless void seems to hum faintly with their light. You drift toward a small nebula glowing faintly at the edge of perception. It is not the vivid storm of color you remember from your own universe, but a quiet cloud, almost shy in the way it hides its light. Threads of silver and pale violet weave through it like the brushstrokes of a painter working in whispers. You reach toward it, not with hands but with awareness, and you feel it respond, not a voice, but a slow, deep recognition, as if it knows you are not from here. It is in that moment you realize the black hole has changed you. You are not merely a visitor, you are now a bridge between realities, carrying the memory of one universe into another. You wonder if you might be the only one, the sole traveler who has felt the way two different infinities breathe. The thought should feel isolating, but it does not. Instead, it feels like a quiet honor, as though you have been trusted with a secret too vast for words. The idea of going back drifts into your mind, but it feels hazy, almost unnecessary. Return to what? The universe you knew may be billions of years older now, its stars dimmed, its worlds changed beyond recognition. Even if you could find your way back, it might no longer be the home you remember. Here, at least, there is a sense of untouched possibility. This is a beginning, even if it arrived disguised as an ending. You let yourself drift, not with the aim of arriving anywhere, but simply to exist within this ocean of difference. You watch the slow turning of galaxies, the quiet birth of stars, the patient shaping of matter by forces older than memory. Time has no hold on you here. It flows like a distant river, whose banks you will never reach. You begin to sense that the act of escaping the black hole was never truly about survival. It was about transformation, about becoming something that can move between the folds of reality and witness the endless variations of existence. And so you choose to remain in motion, not searching, not fleeing, but simply moving as a part of this infinite, unending whole. You carry with you the awareness that every point of light could be a doorway, every shadow could hide a world, every breath in the vast stillness could be the start of another journey. In the end, perhaps there is no such thing as escape, only passage, from one form of the universe into another, from one chapter of eternity into the next. You take a final, slow breath, feeling the vastness settle into you, and then you drift onward, not away from the black hole, but deeper into the endlessness it has revealed. The stars here are not yours, but they welcome you all the same, and you realize that in this vast expanse of strangeness and beauty, you have not truly left anything behind. You have only stepped into more of what was always waiting. You slowly let yourself settle among the stars, feeling their quiet warmth and the soft rhythm of the universe around you. Everything you have seen, the collapse, the infinite possibilities, the escape, is now a part of you, folded gently into the way you experience existence. You carry with you the memory of the black hole, not as a place of danger, but as a doorway, a mirror, a sanctuary where the universe revealed its deepest secrets. And now, as your awareness drifts back toward your own world, you can feel the soft pull of familiarity, a gentle reminder that every journey must return to its beginning. You leave behind the infinite possibilities, the quiet multiverses, the endless rhythms of time and space, carrying only the understanding that existence is far larger, far stranger, and far more beautiful than you could have imagined.